The hardest moments don't come to ruin you. They come to rewrite you. They come to strip away what's fake, to reveal what's unshakable. The pain that crushed you today might just be shaping the strength you'll thank tomorrow. Pain is a mirror, not a prison. When hardship strikes, it doesn't arrive to destroy you. It arrives to show you a reflection of yourself, the part still waiting for healing. Every heartbreak, every loss, every disappointment uncovers where you've been placing your trust, and sometimes where you've been seeking fulfillment that could never last. Pain is not here to punish you. It's here to guide you back to truth, to remind you of what cannot be taken away. If you look closely, you'll see that pain is not the enemy. It's the messenger that brings you home to yourself. Growth hides behind discomfort. We all pray for ease, but ease rarely transforms us. The strength of a tree is not tested in calm weather, but in fierce winds. The same is true for the human soul. The moments that make you uncomfortable are often the ones shaping you quietly. Every struggle is carving depth within you. Every challenge expanding your capacity to love, to understand, and to rise. You do not grow when everything feels safe. You grow when life asks you to stretch beyond what you thought you could endure. Let go of the illusion of control. We hold on tightly to plans, people, and outcomes, believing that control brings safety. But when everything begins to slip away, when nothing goes according to plan, that's when life teaches one of its most sacred truths, that surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means making space for something greater to unfold. When you release what's beyond your reach, you make room for peace to enter. The tighter you hold, the more you suffer. The moment you trust, you begin to breathe again. Brokenness can be a form of beauty. We spend so much time hiding our scars, thinking they make us less worthy, when in reality they are the proof that we have survived. Your wounds are not marks of shame. They are marks of resilience. They tell the story of your becoming. A heart that has been broken learns to love more gently, to feel more deeply. There is a certain beauty in those who have suffered, a quiet strength that only experience can teach. What's broken in you is not a flaw, it's a masterpiece in progress. The darkest moments are sacred spaces. When everything feels lost, when you can't see a way forward, that is often where the most profound transformation begins. Darkness silences the noise of the world so that your heart can finally listen. When life removes what you thought you needed, it's making space for what you truly need, peace, clarity, and connection with what is divine. Sometimes, being stripped of everything is the only way to discover who you really are. In stillness, in surrender, you find strength that was always waiting inside you. Every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. When one door closes in pain, it's easy to believe the story has ended, but endings are often disguised beginnings. Life moves in cycles of breaking, healing, and becoming. The fire that burns also purifies. The storm that destroys also clears the path. What feels like loss today may reveal itself tomorrow as liberation. Trust the process even when it hurts, because one day you'll look back and realize the pain that once broke you was the very thing that built you. Growth hides behind discomfort, though we spend much of life running from it. We pray for calm seas and gentle days, but it is the storm that teaches us who we are. Ease keeps us the same, hardship reshapes us. The moments that test your patience, your faith, and your will are not accidents. They are lessons wrapped in pain. What feels unbearable now might one day be the very reason you stand stronger than before. When life pushes you to your limits, it's inviting you to expand those limits. Every challenge stretches the soul in ways comfort never could. You may not see it in the moment, but struggle builds unseen muscles, resilience, humility, and wisdom. Growth does not announce itself loudly. It happens quietly in the moments you refuse to give up, when you rise again after being knocked down. Discomfort is the language of transformation. Just as the seed must split open to give birth to the tree, your own becoming requires breaking. You can't evolve without leaving parts of yourself behind. The fears, the expectations, the versions of you that no longer fit. Growth is not meant to be easy. It's meant to be real. It demands both courage and surrender. The cracks you feel inside are not signs of weakness. They are openings where understanding enters. The pain that unsettles you is not there to destroy you. It's there to soften you, to make you more aware of life's depth and your own capacity for compassion. Through discomfort, the heart learns empathy. Through challenge, the soul learns endurance. It is only through pressure that coal becomes diamond. In the same way, life's weight refines you into something clearer and stronger. The discomfort you feel now is shaping you into the person your future will depend on. You are being prepared, not punished. Every difficulty is sculpting a wiser version of you, even if you can't yet see what's being formed. So when you face struggle, do not curse it. Sit with it, breathe through it, and ask what it's trying to teach you. Growth rarely arrives dressed in comfort. It comes disguised as challenge, heartbreak, or uncertainty. Yet every time you embrace it, you become more whole. And one day, you'll look back and realize the pain that once broke your peace was the same pain that built your strength. We spend so much of life trying to hold everything together. Our plans, our relationships, our image, our dreams. We cling to the idea that if we just try harder, if we plan perfectly, we can make everything go the way we want. But life doesn't bend to our control. It unfolds in its own mysterious way, often ignoring the timelines we set or the expectations we cling to. The truth is, control is a comforting illusion. We never really had it, yet we exhaust ourselves trying to keep it. When life begins to fall apart, when the things you depended on start slipping away, that's when the lesson begins. You realize that no matter how tightly you hold on, some things are simply not meant to stay. People leave, plans fail, paths shift. And in those moments, you come face to face with the truth. The world doesn't revolve around your control. It moves according to a wisdom much deeper than your understanding. That realization can feel like loss, but it's actually freedom waiting to be discovered. Letting go does not mean you stop caring or stop trying. It means you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. You still show up, still give your best, but you surrender the outcome. You accept that your effort is yours, but the result is not. That shift changes everything. You move from anxiety to peace, from fear to trust. You begin to see that life's unfolding isn't against you. It's guiding you towards something better, even if it doesn't look like it yet. Sometimes, what feels like losing control is actually being redirected. The doors that close are protecting you. The delays that frustrate you are preparing you. What you see as chaos might be the very process of things falling into divine order. Surrender is not defeat. It is choosing to trust that there's a greater design at work. One that knows what you don't. When you stop fighting reality, you begin to see its hidden mercy. You stop wasting energy on resistance and start noticing the quiet beauty in the present. You learn to breathe again, to move with life rather than against it. The world feels lighter when you no longer demand that it follow your script. Peace isn't found in control. It's found in trust. So when everything starts slipping through your fingers, don't see it as failure, see it as an invitation. An invitation to let go, to stop grasping, to fall into the safety of what is meant for you. The moment you release your grip, you make space for grace to enter. And in that surrender, you don't lose anything. You gain everything that truly matters. We spend so much time trying to appear whole, hiding the parts of ourselves that feel cracked or incomplete. We cover our scars with smiles, silence, or strength that looks effortless from the outside. But inside, we all carry our own quiet wounds. The memories that ache, the disappointments that shaped us, the mistakes that still whisper in the dark. We try to bury them because the world tells us brokenness is weakness. But that's not true. Brokenness is a sign that you have lived deeply, that you have cared enough to be hurt, and that you have had the courage to keep going even when it hurt to breathe. The beauty of being broken is that it softens you. It removes the arrogance that often comes with comfort. It teaches you to listen with empathy, to love with gentleness, and to see others with eyes that understand. A person who has suffered doesn't just hear pain, they recognize it. They know how to hold another person's story with tenderness because they've walked through their own shadows. What once felt like your greatest weakness becomes the very bridge that connects you to others. Every scar you carry has a story. Some speak of loss, others of survival, and some of transformation. The cracks in your heart are not evidence of failure. They are proof of endurance. You've been broken, yes, but you were never destroyed. You've fallen, but you've risen each time. And that rising has given you a strength that no easy life could ever offer. You are not defined by what broke you. You are defined by how you healed, by how you refused to stay shattered. When light passes through glass, it shines the brightest through the cracks. The same is true for you. The parts of you that hurt the most are often the ones that allow compassion, wisdom, and grace to flow through. If you were never broken, you would never understand the beauty of mending. You would never know the sweetness of healing after heartbreak, or the calm that follows the storm. The breaking refines you. It removes what is false and reveals what is pure. Sometimes life has to take you apart so it can rebuild you in truth. The breaking is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to reintroduce you to yourself. It's in those fragile moments that you meet the parts of you that are real, the parts that don't depend on approval, success, or perfection. You discover a quieter strength, one that doesn't shout or seek validation, but simply exists, steady, patient, and kind. So don't hide your scars anymore. Let them remind you of how far you've come. Let them tell the story of survival, of lessons learned, of faith restored. What's broken in you isn't ugly. It's human. It's the part of you that knows how to begin again. And in that beginning, there's a beauty that no unbroken life will ever understand. There comes a time in life when everything feels silent, still, and unbearably heavy. It's the kind of silence that doesn't just surround you, it fills you. The people who once understood you seem distant. The things that once brought you joy lose their color, and the path ahead becomes blurred. These moments feel dark, lonely, and endless, but they hold something sacred. Beneath that silence, something deep within you begins to awaken. A voice you've ignored, a truth you've buried, a strength you never knew existed. The darkest moments are not punishments, they are invitations. Life removes what no longer serves you so that you can see what truly matters. The job that slipped away, the person who left, the dream that didn't unfold. Each loss clears a space in your heart for something purer to take root. In the darkness, all the noise of the world fades, and what remains is the quiet whisper of your soul. It's in that emptiness that clarity is born. You begin to see that what you needed was never the things themselves, but the peace that lies beyond them. There is a strange beauty in pain that you only notice when you stop running from it. It humbles you, strips away your illusions, and brings you face to face with your deepest self. The darkness shows you that strength isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about learning to sit in the uncertainty and still trust that the light will return. Every tear that falls becomes a small cleansing, washing away what no longer belongs. You begin to understand that being emptied is not the end. It's preparation for being filled again. When everything else disappears, what remains is truth. You learn that happiness built on temporary things will always fade, but peace built on surrender will never leave you. In the stillness of your lowest moments, you find a connection beyond words, something divine, something eternal. You begin to realize that even when life feels silent, it is still speaking. It's teaching you to slow down, to listen, to rebuild from a place of honesty instead of fear. The darkness doesn't last forever. Slowly light returns. Not the blinding light of before, but a softer, deeper one. It doesn't erase what you've been through. It gives meaning to it. You start to see how the pain shaped your perspective, how the emptiness taught you gratitude, how the struggle carved space inside you for compassion. The valley that once felt endless becomes a turning point, a sacred ground where you met yourself and learned that you were never truly alone. So when you find yourself in the middle of the night, not the night outside, but the one inside your soul, don't rush to escape it. Sit with it. Let it speak. The darkness has its own kind of wisdom. It may break you open, but only so that light can reach the deepest corners of your being. And when dawn finally comes, you'll rise not as who you were before, but as someone softer, wiser, and far more alive. Endings are one of the hardest things to accept. When something you love slips away, it feels final, as if everything you built has collapsed into dust. The silence that follows can feel unbearable, the emptiness too wide to cross. You stand at the edge of what used to be and can't yet see what's next. It's in those moments that life tests your faith, not in others, but in the unseen rhythm of renewal. What feels like an ending is rarely the end. It's simply the space between what was, what will be. Every ending carries a hidden beginning inside it. Just as the night hides the promise of dawn, loss hides the seed of transformation. You may not see it right away because new beginnings rarely arrive with noise and certainty. They arrive quietly, through a change in perspective, a new strength you didn't have before, or a gentle whisper in your heart telling you to try again. Sometimes life must close one door, so you finally stop knocking on it and notice the other doors waiting to be opened. The pain of endings can purify you. It burns away attachment, pride, and illusion until only truth remains. The same fire that seems to consume you is also shaping you. The heartbreak that shatters you is the same force that will open your heart to deeper love. The disappointment that breaks your plans is the same event that clears the path for something far better suited to your soul. You may not understand it now, but one day you will look back and see that every loss was, in its own way, a form of guidance. When you learn to accept endings as part of life's natural flow, you begin to find peace in the unknown. You stop asking why things ended and start asking what they came to teach. The moments that once felt unbearable become sacred teachers, and you begin to trust that even in your pain, life is not against you. It is always working, always weaving meaning behind the scenes. The story doesn't stop when something ends. It simply changes form. There is a quiet strength in starting again. To rebuild after loss requires courage. The courage to believe that even after everything, beauty is still possible. You may begin slowly, with small steps, unsure and trembling, But every act of moving forward is a declaration of hope. And hope is what turns endings into beginnings. The world doesn't need you to be unbroken. It needs you to be willing to begin again with an open heart. So when life closes a chapter, don't cling to the ashes. Look for the spark. Because somewhere in the ruins of what you lost lies the seed of what's next. The ending is not your enemy. It is your turning point. One day, you'll understand that what ended had to end, not to destroy you, but to make space for the version of you that was waiting to be born. And when that moment comes, you'll thank the ending for giving you a new beginning. So the next time life feels heavy and unbearable, don't rush to escape it. Sit with it. Listen to it. There's a lesson whispering through the cracks. And if you stay long enough, you'll discover that even in the hardest moments, grace was standing right beside you.